One and the two and the 29 and 30. Here we go. Welcome to the Two Tone Podcast. My name is Jalen Kale. Alongside me, as always,
The okay.
how you doing this week, kid?
I'm doing living life.
Hell yeah. Sorry if the camera keeps tweaking, y'all. We are recording the episode in my apartment. We had a disagreement with the owner of the studio, so for this foreseeable future, we'll be in here. But other than that, what you been up to? What you been doing anything with Spiff Diff and Kush? Any updates on it so far?
Not really any updates. Just waiting on feedback from people.
Hell yeah. So with Spiff Diff and Kush, have you decided if you're gonna try and make it a feature or gonna try and make it a short?
I'd like to make it a short, but if it turns out to be a feature, then it turns out to be a feature. I don't really have any definite on if it's a short or a feature yet. But plan is for it to be a short as of right now. But if it becomes a feature, it becomes a feature.
That sounds good to me. I must say, I definitely feel like it would be more beneficial to make it a short. Just have a couple of days where you can shoot it and then just chop it up and have another short underneath your belt before you start trying to shoot it, making features and whatnot.
Yeah, understandable.
But either way, I don't know. Yeah, I said my name in the very beginning, my dumbass. But anyways, just dropped an EP a few months ago. It's called Unfuckswittable. It's on all streaming platforms. And if you go to linktree.com/JAK Productions, it'll take you to my music on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. And then my socials are also on there. The Feeling Generous tab will go to production value for the podcast, get better mics and whatnot. But hit him with your little spiel before we hop into the show, team.
So if you didn't catch it, my name's Theo Kale. I make films, or I'm working on making films, and if you would like to check it out, you can look it up at Glasshouse Films 8 on YouTube, and if you would like to get in contact with helping in any way in any of my films, you can contact me at Glasshouse Films 8 on Instagram.
Hell yeah! All right. Oh, I forgot to mention I will be dropping Unfuckswittable, the deluxe edition, coming here soon. I just got to kind of figure out where I want to put the tracks into the album and or into the EP rather. But yeah, just keep your eyes peeled for that. I'm sure I'll post all about it. And you can follow my socials right there, linktree.com/JAK Productions. But anyways, let's get on into it. I'ma hope this song's going. I can't hear it. I'm probably totally off the song. It's going. Okay, we're back. I can hear this song. Okay. Hit subscribe, hey. Hit subscribe, hey. Hit subscribe, boy. Your grandma gonna die, hey. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. I mean, I hope your grandma lives a whole long life. Just hit subscribe, bro. Come on. Whoever keeps doing those songs in the intro is getting wild as fuck out there. But anyways, welcome back to the Two Tone Podcast. As we said, we're filming from my apartment. I got my art up on the walls. This is my fiance's little tapestry or whatever. Got my piano that's not plugged in. Probably should do that sometime soon. But anyways, what you been up to outside of working on Spiff Diff and Kush?
Just working.
I felt that.
Money. Getting that money.
I'm about to say, money doesn't cause happiness, but it sure fucking helps, It sure does. Yeah. But I'm gonna say I've been working on. I've been on a like a video game music kind of making binge the last couple months, especially after I dropped on Fucks Bullets. A bunch of just random ass beats and stuff. I tend to kind of try and move on after I make an album or a EP that's got a certain sound, but I
I,
don't know what it is about like video game type music, but it's just been my shit recently.
I just had an amazing idea for the beginning of the film.
Okay, hit me with it.
So instead of a live action, it fades from like a 8-bit, just two 8-bit characters standing over an 8-bit dead character in an 8-bit world, and then it just like zooms in and they're alive.
You're like going into the game or whatever.
Something like that, but it doesn't have anything to do with the game. Just more of like a
Just an aesthetic choice.
yeah,
That could be interesting. I'm gonna say I don't know how you'd really do it, but I'm sure you could figure it out.
probably at some point.
It does sound like an
But
interesting idea if you could do it correctly. I'm gonna say I don't really know how you would do it, but I believe in you. You'll figure it out. All right. So, what you want to talk about? The album, the film. You ain't listened to the album, and I only watched half of the film, so it's gonna be a banger episode. Get
Oh,
ready.
I guess we'll start out with the album and then go to the film.
All right. So the album of the week is from a group called Cosmic Collective, and the album is called Internet Dump. So the album is essentially just a I don't know if y'all can read the font on the screen. I don't know. I can't, so I'm gonna look at what it's called real quick. But the Jesus Christ. All right. The text on the album says this is not a record. This is just a dump of songs we recorded in our bedroom this year. And I don't know what it is about Spotify. Oh Jesus, hit my desk. I don't know what it is about Spotify recommending like the last song in an album to me. Like it won't ever recommend a song from the middle of the album or like the first song off the album. It'll always recommend the very last song on an album. And a couple months ago, it recommended the last song off of this album. And I hadn't listened to the actual album itself until probably a week or so ago. But it is just a collection of just the most random songs. Honestly, it kind of dives between um like video game style music and jazz and I don't know. It's almost like jazz fusion, kind of. Like more exploratory jazz than just your standards. But overall, I give it a solid 8 out of 10 as an album. It doesn't really have like a message or nothing. It's just kind of, you know, as it says on the album, just a kind of a collection of songs that they all feel really homemade, and I'm sure the group that made the songs has a really good chemistry together. They seem like they gelled really well. We were listening to a little bit of the album before we started. What was your impressions of what's their nuts? Fucking Cosmic Collective.
I mean, I liked it. It's just personally probably not my cup of tea, but it was good for what it was.
Fair enough. I was thinking about this today. Like most of my playlists are curated around going on a drive. Like I have maybe like 12 playlists, and I'd say 6 of them are, just driving out in the middle of nowhere kind of vibes, not really looking for a song that's super deep or, has a lot of complex lyrics or nothing. It's just the album you can throw on and just, you know, clean the house or go on a drive, as I said. But I don't know. I don't know what it is about those kind of that kind of music. You know, it doesn't really. You ain't got to pay attention to it too much, but it's really complex if you actually do pay attention to it. Very interesting group. All right, let's hop on into the film of the week. So hit him with the film of the week real quick, team.
The Missing Link.
And what you choose the missing link for, huh?
I don't know. I've just been picking stop motion animation films.
This fucking guy. All right, so have you seen it recently?
Not recently, but I saw it a couple months ago.
I mean, that's kind of recently. But what do you remember from the missing link?
I remember there's a hunter, like a guy who's hunting for
Mm-hmm.
special creatures like lynx and uh mythical creatures is
Right.
basically I'm trying
Like
to say.
in the beginning, he was looking for the Loch Ness monster.
Yeah.
Ends up finding him, but it's like it's set way back in the day, so he's got to get his little tripod and his camera with the little hood thing. He's like, all right, a little bit to the right, a little bit to the left, and then he just goes back into the water and never gets the picture. But then he comes back and he's like, I saw him. I saw Nessie. And everybody's like, okay, bud. Sure you did.
But yeah. And then I remember uh I think it's that guy. He like learns throughout while trying to find the link,
The Sasquatch?
the Sasquatch link.
The missing link.
Yeah, whatever his name or
They
whatever
call
he
him,
is.
they call him Mr. Link, but he's a Sasquatch.
The Sasquatch, yes. But I believe that he's like trying to find the link or find the Sasquatch, but he learns throughout the story that it's better to keep animals alive than having them dead and hanging on your wall.
That's a very big theme of the movie. I was watching. I only got about like 60% through the movie, but from what I saw, very good movie. I was uh I was looking up Leica, the studio you were talking about the other day that makes all the claymation or stop motion or whatever.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that they also made Kubo and the Two Strings. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah.
It's been a hot minute since I've seen that movie, but I remember it was really fucking good.
They make a lot of stop motion animation movies.
That was another thing in the Missing Link. Was it all stop motion?
Yeah.
I could have sworn there was a couple scenes in there that looked CGI.
Stop motion.
That's fucking crazy. Because the way that some of the scenes look, I really thought it was.
I mean, unless it was like I think maybe the water scenes weren't stop motion,
Yeah, I'm gonna say that makes sense.
but I think it was mostly stop motion.
I'm gonna say I was watching it and it might have been the water scene, like where he's walking through the water to try and find the Sasquatch or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'll have to look into it. But as I said, I was watching The Missing Link earlier today, and it had a lot of similarities to me as Paranorman. I mean, that makes sense. It's made by the same studio, you know.
Yeah.
But I don't know. They do stop motion really fucking well. I never realized that it was all one studio that did the majority of the stop motion. Is there any other studio that you know of that it does stop motion? Like, are they the ones that did like Nightmare Before Christmas and all the older stop
Um,
motion shit?
I think Nightmare Before Christmas was done by, I think it's called Skellington Studios. I'd have to look it up. You're right.
I'm about to say because I feel like Leica's definitely made more recent movies. I wouldn't.
I think Leica is more of a newer stop motion animation.
Right.
Touchstone Pictures
Okay.
is who made Nightmare Before Christmas.
Interesting. Hopefully I don't fuck my shit up. I'm trying to wipe some shit off the keys. Some shit, if you know. Uh,
It was Touchstone Pictures and Skellington Productions. Skellington Productions is Tim Burton's company,
Interesting. Okay.
or is one of his companies. But yeah, I
So
think Leica is more of like
is
newer.
like a what?
It's definitely a newer production company in stop motion world. They might have done live action films, but in the past, but I don't know.
Yeah, I'm about to say I don't know if they have done live action or not. I couldn't tell you. I haven't looked into it.
I don't really know.
But so is it called claymation or is it stop motion?
It's called stop motion animation. Claymation is a form of stop motion, but it is not stop motion. Stop
Oh,
motion animation is a
it just refers to like the frame by frame style of shooting,
yeah,
and claymation is using clay to do the frame by frame.
yeah,
So you can do it with like puppets and
yeah,
shit like that.
yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. So I feel like
Claymation is more of like you do it with clay, of course.
right,
But
right. I feel like
yeah,
I keep saying feel like Leica. I feel like Leica uses a I feel like they use a mix of stop motion like puppetry and claymation, you know. I feel like they you can kind of tell like in what's it called? Kubo. Like some of the parts look like it's clay, but some of the parts look like it's
I
like
think Kubo.
figures, you know.
I think Kubo is just puppet stop motion animation. I don't think it has any clay in it.
Really?
Yeah,
I'm about to
a
say.
lot of it is like. So I watched like behind the scenes on Kubo,
Uh huh.
and a lot of it was puppets, and like for like when Kubo faced the skeleton that was like bigger than him, they actually had to make like a giant ass skeleton monster that was like 10 times taller than a human for it.
Like a real life human, or so you said they use puppets for Kubo.
Yeah. And then when like for some of the characters they had to make um like these giant puppets
Right.
for like when he faced the skeleton. I
Mm-hmm.
always want to keep saying skeleton.
Not quite. So,
Here, wait.
are there any movies like nowadays that are actually claymation?
I don't think. I think most of them are just puppet animation.
I'm gonna say I feel like it would definitely be more expensive to make a claymation picture as opposed to making one with puppets.
Like if you look at that,
Let me see. Oh damn.
but for it
Yeah,
for
the
that
what?
character,
I'm gonna say I'll put it in post, but that's crazy. So
Yeah.
for the puppets for Kubo, are they
They're like
like what's the the ratio? Is it like just a half size or is it
hold up.
life? I don't know. That's fucking crazy. What you looking up over there?
Trying to show you a picture compared to a regular human, how big they are.
The Kubo.
Puppets.
We need a fucking producer in here to pull up all this shit. TT over here being the producer and the co-host at the same time.
All right, well, this is the best I can find. But that's basically the size of what they are.
Oh, so it's like a fourth size.
Yeah.
Okay, that kind of makes sense. They come up like almost to the knee of like a real life human.
Yeah.
I'll put those in post, but yeah, that's wild. I would definitely think I would have thought that they would make it a little bit smaller than quarter size.
Well, I mean, it's probably easier on like the prop department to make it a quarter,
Right.
so they don't have to make like too small stuff that will break easily.
And also when you get too small, you kind of lose
The detail.
some of the details, yeah. Oh jeez.
But yeah,
That makes sense.
I think
Um,
Leica's probably one of my favorite companies that does stop motion animation films.
are there many other studios that do stop motion?
I don't know like exactly how many, but I feel like there are some.
I must say I would imagine there's some, but it kind of feels like Leica has a quite the grip on the style. Y'all just sitting here chilling with us today, man. Welcome to the podcast. TT over here googling shit. I'm over here vibing, chilling, not doing shit.
Can't find a list of them, but
Fair
I
enough.
feel like there are definitely a few.
I'm about to say I feel like there's bound to be at least a couple of other studios that are willing to take a shot at it.
Yeah.
Have you heard any movies coming out recently that you're excited for? Or any movies that are out that you want to see?
I kind of want to see the Five Nights at Freddy's one, but I don't know if I ever will pay for it. I think I'll just wait till it comes out on like streaming service.
I'm about to say I feel like that's what everybody does nowadays. Nobody ever wants to go to the theater anymore.
Um, but
I'm
other
not
than
opposed to
that,
it.
there is one I would like to see, but
What's it
again,
called?
I don't really want to go to the movie theater and pay for it. Um, it's like Killer. Hold up, I think it's like Killers of the Moon. I don't know.
Killers of the Moon. What the fuck?
Killers of the Flower Moon.
It sounds familiar. What's it about?
It's based on a book, but Martin Scorsese is the director of it. Leonardo DiCaprio's in it.
Oh yeah, I've seen the what's it what you call it the damn
Robert De Niro's in it.
the trailer. There we go. Got it.
Brandon Fraser's in it.
All these names are just
Brandon Fraser was born in Indiana, is now an actor. Famous actor. He played the whale.
oh, okay. Okay. I still haven't seen that.
I haven't
Have you?
either.
I must say, have you seen it? I've heard many mixed reviews about it. You know what I watched recently that was really fucking good?
What?
The Black Phone. You ever seen The Black Phone?
Yeah.
What you think about it?
That was good.
You
I liked it.
you like that kind of scary? I wouldn't. It's kind of scary, but
Thriller.
yeah, it's definitely more of a thriller. You like that kind of
Um,
horror vibe?
I mean, yeah. I kind of like a lot of different type of horror, spooky vibes, but I can do watch whatever. I'm not very picky on horror movies or spooky movies.
So what would you say would be like what style of horror movie like the trailer comes on
Mm.
and you're like, holy fucking shit, I gotta go see that kind of movie. That's that scary movie. What kind
Um,
of scary movie are you just like, I'm gonna go see that no matter what?
I like paranormal type of horror. That stuff interests me.
Fuck that.
Um,
Fuck all that.
if it's based on like true stories, I like that too.
Yeah, those are kind of interesting to me
Like true
sometimes.
crime films or something.
You ever seen uh excuse me. You ever seen The Watcher?
Yeah. I
Bro.
mean, I don't think I've seen it, but I've heard about like I've watched YouTube videos on it.
If you haven't seen The Watcher, dude,
I
you
think I might
gotta
have though. I'm not sure. It's been a while.
you gotta go watch it because it's fucking good, bro. Um it's about this fucking family moves into this house, right? In this kind of like affluent neighborhood. And they move into this house and they keep getting these like fucking weird ass letters and they're always like they they dub over the letter with this like really fucking creepy voice and he's like, I am the Watcher. Hello, Scott. How is your family? How are your children doing? And it's just like some really fucking menacing type shit.
Yeah.
And then, you know, the whole family is like, who the fuck is doing this? And then this one couple is like found like crawling in this like crawl space between the two houses and it's just like a whole fuck show of it's it's it, it's like who's the watcher type shit, you know? It's like a who done it. But the way that they do it is so fucking good. I think they're coming out with a season 2, but we'll see how the season 2 comes out.
I also really liked like documentary like horror documentaries like about murderers and stuff. It's interesting to just see
Like a YouTube documentary about
like a
somebody.
Netflix documentary or YouTube documentary. Either or doesn't really matter to me.
I'm about to say recently I've been watching this YouTube channel called oh fuck.
Casual criminalist.
No, it's called EWU. I forget what it stands for. Explore with Us. That's what it's called. It's called Explore with Us, and it's just a bunch of interviews with people that have just committed these like fucking crazy ass crimes, right? And it's about like the psychology behind why these criminals move the way they do and say what they say, you know, and it just kind of breaks it down to show you like here's how the detectives knew they were lying, here's the signs that showed it, and it's just about like the psychology behind
I kind of want to
criminals
make
and all
like
that kind of shit. It's really interesting to
I
me.
want to make a documentary-esque horror film, but not a documentary. It's like it's a horror film, but it's like a documentary.
Okay, I'm confused.
So like it's the horror movie, right?
Right.
You get guys killing people, but it's like a documentary, so it shows like old like CCTV footage and like Polaroid pictures of what happened and stuff like that, and like people are trying to figure out what's going on. But it's
So
like a documentary.
it would be from like the oh Jesus fucking Christ! I keep hitting this goddamn
It'd be
thing.
like from the perspective of the person watching a documentary film.
So it would just like cut between like the crime going on and then the uh like the detectives are like at their desk and they're like run the fingerprints, Johnson, and then it cuts to like the criminal and he's like, I hope they don't find me.
No.
Okay, I'm confused still. Then
I'm thinking like it'd be like somebody's turns on the TV to a streaming service, decides they want to watch documentary, so they turn on a documentary, right?
right,
And you know how in documentaries they have like pictures of the crime scene and all that stuff. Like it'll say at the bottom, actual picture of crime
Right.
scene, or like actual picture of da da
Right.
da da.
Right.
So it'd be like that, but it'd be a horror movie. So like at the beginning of the film, it would just be the mass murders and all this stuff,
Uh-huh.
and then it cut to like a few years ahead of time,
Right.
and this person's watching the documentary about the said murders that happened years ago,
Okay.
and then the killer comes back
Mm-hmm.
and commits all these murders. And a couple years later, it's another documentary about the killer.
I'm still a little confused on the premise, but that might be
Might be because I don't have it punched out. Yeah,
it might be because a
At
couple
all.
other things, but we ain't gotta talk about it. Anyways,
I mean, it's. I don't feel like it's that difficult to understand, but
I'm sure if you gave me like a rough draft of how it's gonna work, I could understand it a little better. But
yeah.
it seems a little confusing to me at the moment. But I'm sure if you wanted to do it, I'm sure you figured it out.
But I feel like a documentary horror movie would be great.
It could be interesting.
I don't feel like that's been reached.
I mean, you got like
I mean, you got found footage of horror, but I wouldn't say that's a documentary.
or like ghost hunters or some shit like that.
Yeah.
It's almost horror. You know, it's like they're documenting the ghosts and shit and spirits or whatever the fuck you want to call them.
Yeah. That shit used to scare me all the time.
The ghost adventurers or whatever.
Yeah, and when they would cut between like them talking and like reenactments of the ghosts of the people that died and stuff.
Oh yeah, they're like, we're in an abandoned hospital where thousands of people died, and it just shows somebody on the cart, and it is,
Yeah.
and then the ghost come in, and he's like, "Where's my lunch?" And they're like, "Holy shit, he just said, where's my lunch? What the fuck?" All the reactions from Ghost Adventures used to crack me the fuck up. There'd be like one time, bro walked around the corner, and then, you know, something like fell over or whatever, and he about jumped 3 feet in the air, so about pissed himself.
About pissed himself. But yeah, I just feel like that'd be a cool concept for a documentary, film, movie thing.
It could be interesting. I must say, I'm not 100% certain on how you do it, but I believe in
I
you.
don't know either, but well, we can figure that out at a later date.
Indeed.
Got anything else to talk about, sir?
We should talk about something because these episodes are getting.
Shorter and shorter.
These episodes are just getting sadder and sadder and sadder. I'm sorry, y'all.
All right. So how's life?
I mean, it's going okay. I mean, I be broke as shit all the time, but it's all right. I got an apartment. I got a car. My car's almost paid off, so hey yo,
lucky you.
ball out. Yeah, you just got a brand new car. Motherfucking 2023, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mans is out here balling with a newer car than I got. Sadness.
But yeah. I don't know, like, what's your plan with all of this?
With all of what?
The podcast, your music career, like, what do you want to do with it?
I mean, the podcast is just here mainly to for us to talk shit for an hour a week, you know. But you know, the podcast is the podcast, you know. if you're here, if you're watching, I appreciate you. Thank you. If you're not here, you ain't gonna hear this. So you know, it is what it is. But in regards to my music career, I don't know what I want from my music career. Honestly, I'd like to. I feel like I'd like to be well known, but I wouldn't want to be famous. I'd want I want to be successful, but I don't want to be
So like Mark Rebier.
in the spotlight. I mean, not even necessarily like that. As much as I love performing live and playing with a band and whatever, I feel like it would become very monotonous over time. You're just playing the same set, just in a different city. And as much as I would appreciate the opportunity to do something like that, I don't feel like it's a sustainable idea for my brain, honestly. But that's why I feel like I've been getting more into like producing and making beats and shit like that. Hopefully, start working on some like movie scores or video game music or kind of more behind the scenes.
So what is your plan for when I'm not an indie?
No, I'll probably do the same shit, bud.
I mean, you gonna do a podcast by yourself?
Yeah.
So welcome to the One Tone Podcast.
No, I'll still be the two tone because I'm black and white, so it works. It works on so many levels.
But yeah, um,
What's your plan with film and all this?
my plan would be to become make feature films, um, meet new people, um, turn around to all the haters and say, "Fuck you."
All right, so given your progression in film so far, right?
Yeah.
In 10 years,
Mm-hmm.
where do you see yourself?
Hopefully out in California. Probably not in the film industry, but at least out there or wherever film decides to go.
I feel like it might move to Texas. Austin is having a really big boom of entertainment industry recently. A lot of comedians are moving there and a lot of singers are moving there.
Um, I mean, I think I've said this before on the podcast, but I don't think California is gonna keep the film industry. I mean, they'll try to, like, they'll still have like Hollywood and stuff, but I feel like a lot of big names are just gonna move somewhere else because they're getting tired of all the bullshit.
If they move somewhere else, where would you think they'd move? Still in California or somewhere else?
Probably somewhere else like Texas or some other big city. I don't know.
Because honestly, there's
Like
no way.
Chicago,
Maybe there's no way they moved to New York,
Atlanta, maybe.
Atlanta. That's a good choice. That might be a good choice.
Quebec,
Uh,
Canada. No, Toronto. Toronto. That's what I meant. Not
I meant to
Quebec.
say I don't know if they'd even move to Canada. Honestly, they'd probably keep it in the United States. I feel like, but you never know.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like they probably first moved to like Texas since it's close to California and not far away. But
I might say that's one thing that never really made sense to me, having Hollywood and the movie industry be essentially on the West Coast. You don't you have less incentive for somebody in New York to go all the way to Los Angeles and become an actor. There's
yeah.
not as many opportunities in New York as there is in L.A., but there's so many more different opportunities
But
in
then
New York.
But then there's so many people that move out to LA thinking that they're gonna make it, and so They try
Right.
out for every position ever known to man in the acting world and don't make it. That's how you get crackheads.
I don't know if that's the exact path line to that, but it is one of them.
But
But
yeah,
anyways, back to your 10-year plan. So in 10 years, you see yourself in California or wherever the or film industry is, right?
yeah.
So
Um,
what are you gonna do once you get out there? What's the plan for action? What you gonna do?
uh, I'm gonna hopefully try and write a film script. Do like a co-director co-directing film with Kyle or something like that. Um, hopefully get my name in the door somehow. You know.
I must say, I definitely feel like since the film industry is out there, there's many more like festivals and competition kind of things where you can get a lot more exposure than you could in indie.
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't even really feel like you ever have to. My opinion. I don't know if anybody else feels like this, but I don't really feel like you need to go into a film festival. Like, put a film in a film festival.
I mean, you definitely don't need to.
I feel like you could just. I mean, because it's really just meeting people and getting to know who people are, and like making friendships and stuff.
I mean, that's a lot of the business, though.
Yeah.
So like, it's not needed to do it, but it's. I feel like it would be definitely highly recommended to at least
Yeah.
attend them. You know.
Well, I mean, like, yeah, attending them, but like, you don't need to like put a film in the film festival to move ahead. But you can attend them and like meet new people and talk to directors, stuff.
Well, I mean, why wouldn't you enter your film into a film festival if you're just gonna go and watch? You know,
True.
it doesn't make any sense to spend 7 months on something and then you know, fucking the local Los Angeles Film Festival's coming up. You know, $50 to enter, and then you're just hitting in the crowd like, damn, I just spent the last 8 months making this shit, and it ain't even gonna be shown here. You know, it doesn't really.
True.
I feel like it's definitely it's not 100% needed, but
It
I feel
helps.
like it's 99% uh recommended.
It's like you don't need brakes to drive,
I mean, they're pretty essential.
but
You don't
it's
need windshield wipers to drive, but they fucking help.
yeah.
They really fucking help.
Um. But yeah, after that, probably just try and get my foot in the door somehow, and
What would you say it would be like? So, what would you say looks or what would you say you making it looks like? What's your like what's your job title?
um, director or producer or both.
I feel like those are two kind of very different. They're both in the industry, but the producer is more like, all right, we need fucking a gumball machine. Bet get the gumball machine. The director is more like, all right, 2 inches to the left and rotate your arm 90 degrees this time.
True. Um, but what I mean by that is like more like both producer and director. Like have enough money to make my own films and not have to deal with.
So kind of like just run your own ship, have your own company that you can release your shit out on.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes more sense. Okay.
But um
So that's like the final goal.
yeah. But my dreams would be probably to work with like big name directors at some point.
I could feel like, especially with directors in specifically, I feel like most of them are like really fucking particular about the way that they direct. I
Like,
don't know
I
if
don't even want to like. They don't even have to give me a job. I just want to be on the set and watch how they do it.
just kind of be just
Just be their shadow for the
yeah
whole day,
yeah
type
just kind
shit.
of shadow them. That definitely be interesting, but I don't know how you know how plausible that would be.
Probably not very, but you never know.
You just become a just get a media pass and just follow them around like you're writing a story on them or some
Yeah.
shit.
Um, but my dream person to work with, other than like directors, would be probably like Adam Savage as a prop master on one of my films or something.
That'd be fucking cool. Adam Savage is sick as fuck, honestly.
I feel like it'd be so fun to work with Adam.
He does seem like a really fucking cool guy. Yeah, I must say I've seen a couple YouTube videos about like all of his props and shit that you showed me, and man's has fucking got everything.
Yeah.
It's fucking
And like you
ridiculous.
don't like I love prop making. I love making my own props and stuff, but the way he does it makes it look so like seamless and easy.
Right,
It's fucking crazy.
he's like, all right, so I'm gonna grab this foam block and just carve out the shape of this hat, and then just pour the silicone in there, wait for it to cure, and then just pour the thing in there, and just wait for it to react, and then shave it. I'm like,
But
you lost
even
me 7 steps ago. How the fuck am I
even
supposed to know?
even like his measurements are like so precise. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, to a T. Man's doesn't get shit wrong very
Yeah.
often.
It's crazy. I mean, he has worked on Star Wars and like all the. I think he's worked on like a lot of the original Star Wars films, but I'm not sure.
Like episode 4, 5, and 6.
I think so. Yeah, I'm not sure though. He said he has worked on Star Wars though.
Interesting.
But yeah, I just feel like it'd be really cool to work with Adam Savage as a prop master.
That would be very interesting.
I don't know very many DPs that are like top tier DPs,
Mm-hmm.
but you know, um, I'd also just want to like pick the brains of like big name directors. Sorry for that burp.
Just kind of see how they function, what
Yeah.
their
Just like how they come
protocol
up with
is.
the ideas for the films that they have. Like how did Martin Scorsese decide he wanted to make Killers of the Flower Moon?
I wonder about that kind of shit all the time too. Like, how does
Like how did Tim Burton decide he wanted to make fucking Edward Scissorhands?
right? Because they're especially with film, it's very much a collaborative effort. You know, you got the writers, the producers, the editors, the fucking dude that actually does the filming, and
Yeah.
the director, and you know,
It's just
there's
I also like their visions are just so like how did you like have you ever seen Edward Scissorhands?
I've seen parts of it. I haven't seen it all the way through.
So have you okay, so you probably seen it, but in Edward Scissorhands, Tim Burton goes from like this dark, desolate castle to like this luscious neighborhood of just like perfect cookie cutter houses. And I'm like,
Mhm.
how do you go from that to that within the same movie and then still keep it relevant?
And just have it make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. It is. It is. I don't know. I really don't know how much like each job in the film industry has input on the story, because I feel like that would be more of like a writer's you know.
Well, I mean, it really depends on like if the story comes down from the production company or if it comes down from the director. Because production companies will be like, "Oh, can you make this film with this and that in it?" And then the directors will be like, "Yeah, okay, sure."
So sometimes it is like they've written the script and you know it's something that they want to make, and sometimes it is, you know, from
Yeah,
up above.
yeah.
Okay, that makes more sense now.
I'd also like to work with like some big name actors, but it I'm I'm just saying if I ever work with big name actors and they're assholes, I'm never working with them again.
That's usually how it goes.
Or I'll fire them on the spot and hire somebody else.
Who would you say? All right, so like your top three actors that you would, if you know, you just could pick anybody and they say yes, who would you pick?
Um, Johnny Depp,
Okay.
Robert Downey Jr.
Oh Lord, there's gonna be so many drugs.
and probably like Adam Sandler, Chris Rock.
That is a hell of a cast. All in the same film or no?
No, just
Okay.
like
Okay.
if I could pick from
Right. Right. Okay.
top ones.
I was thinking they was all in the same movie. I was like,
No,
this
no.
is what the fuck is this movie? This is about to
That'd
be
be
fucking,
so fucking weird.
this is about to be fucking crazy, dog.
Be Johnny Depp playing Jack Sparrow.
You just imagine Adam Sandler. He's just like, who was that? And then you know Johnny Depp just I'm about to say
And then fucking Robert Downey Jr. just in the corner.
he's just sitting there with the scotch, just. So boys, what are we doing? That would be a fucked ass movie.
That'd be Spiff Diff and Kush right there.
Damn. There you go. That's how you need to get for your actors. That'd be fried as fuck. All right. Anyways, thank you guys for watching the Two Tone Podcast. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. It's free. You know, it's just one little click. You know, just hit that mouse. Just. But anyways, thank y'all for watching. You know, you got anything to hit them with right before we log off, T? Just give me one word. Come on, say it.
Go green and eat your vegetables.
That's not one. All right, whatever. Thank you for watching. Hit subscribe, hey. Hit subscribe, hey. Hit subscribe, or your grandma gonna live, hey. No, that didn't really make sense. So, yeah, you know what I meant. Just hit the button, please. Thank you. That thumbs up button too. You know, it works. All right, be safe, y'all.